All right, we are live. Well, good evening, everybody, and greetings. Welcome to BEI Live. I am the one that gets to drive today. They actually let me drive today. Can you believe that? So I'm Damian Johnson, and I am here with the HR aficionado, Miss Angela Hooper Manyfield. Hey, Angela.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first Tuesday in October, and welcome to BEI Live.
Awesome. BEI Live. And we are also here with the Millennial Queen, the founder of the Adulting in My Purpose movement, Dr. Nicole Rankin.
That's right. You got to have a purpose when you're an adult. I love it. Hello, everyone.
And everybody know that Dr. Nick loves the kids. And unfortunately, the Mr. Get It Done himself, Cedric LaFleur, our other co-founder and business partner, is unable to be with us tonight. So you've got the three of us on deck. So ladies, tell me, how are you doing tonight? Angela? You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I was trying to share on the other pages while you were talking. Okay, so I am actually doing quite well. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but yesterday had me thinking, right? Like, what I'm gonna do to protect my business when Facebook fall apart? Oh, was I supposed to bring that up? Oops. No, I am doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Listen, let's talk about that a little bit.
Folks didn't know what to do. Lives were hurt. People were hurt. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was. But it did. It actually did. All joking aside, it made me think. Because we have communities that we serve, and many of them our primary channel of communication is Facebook, and so it did. It left me with I need a plan B. Right? Not saying, because technical outages happen all the time, right? Mm-hmm. But I think what a lot of us, even though we knew it, we didn't realize that Mark kind of owned it all almost, don't he? Except Twitter. And so at least the major platforms, right? Not LinkedIn, of course, or, Snapchat and Instagram. But the point was, I have like a commitment to the community, and I was supposed to do that yesterday. And I'm getting these messages, where are you? And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And it was no way to communicate with them. And it just got you thinking, right? It just gets you thinking, especially again, so many of us host our communities, our groups. This show right now is airing on Facebook. Even tonight, when I told somebody that wanted to talk to me, they said, you got a minute? I said, only a few. I got a Facebook show. They said, well, is Facebook working? Like that was the response to me. So it does. It makes you just think. And one of the things we talk about all the time, Damien and Nicole, right, is, one of the reasons why a lot of people even start down this entrepreneurship road is because they want to have more than one source of income. Mm-hmm. Because if that source goes away, they got something else they can nurture, even if they don't want it to become their primary. It doesn't leave them, without anything. And I think that was yesterday's message, right? Mm-hmm. It's great to use it for it to even be your primary source, but it should not be your only source. So that was my biggest takeaway from yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. Because Mondays are usually my planning days. And that's when I send out my newsletters via email. And so when I did that and then went to Facebook to update my social media, it was like, wait a minute, I thought my phone was in error. I kept rebooting, turning it off. Like, what's going on? Checking my internet, all of that. And then I didn't realize there was actually a outage from the system. But it goes to show that, again, like you said, we have to have multiple ways to do things. And in the same way in our business, how do we reach our clients? If we're so focused on social media, where are the ways that we can reach and interact with our clients as well? So it goes that just an eye opener in a lot of things, not only multiple streams of income, multiple ways of engagement, multiple ways that you do things. So you always got to have a plan B, maybe a plan B, C, and D, just keeping it in mind, just in case things don't work out. And that's just really just the path of entrepreneurship, right? You got to be able to make decisions quick, pivot when things happen, and be able to still keep moving.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because in entrepreneurship, you do have to have a plan B and a plan C. And it's interesting because Angela and I just experienced that, where sometimes it could not even be Facebook; it could be technology in general, where we had a training to deliver, and technology would not let us be great. And thankfully,
We
Angela
were
thought about.
great, Damien. Damien, I can't
But it was
co-sign
trying
that.
to
We were
stop us.
great.
It was trying to stop us. It was trying to stop us, right? We
Yeah,
were
we
good.
were great. We were great.
Yeah. So it's important to think 2 steps ahead, right? And to make sure that you've got diversity built into your business on multiple fronts, not just your social media, but even in terms of if you're delivering a product or a service. Like if your primary source fails, what are you going to do next, right?
Yeah,
And I think that that's in
absolutely.
harmony with, we've been talking about the theme going into the fourth quarter of finishing strong. And so I think this whole idea of, this experience with Facebook kind of going down and seeing the whole world almost kind of come to like in shock because they don't know what to do next, just makes us think of, as you go into the fourth quarter, like, how are you positioning yourself to finish strong? What are some of the steps that you're taking to finish strong? Are you sitting back and waiting for the holidays to come and then say I'm going to start fresh in January, or are you stepping on the accelerator to end 2021 with an exclamation mark? So Angela, what are some things that you're doing to finish strong for this last quarter?
So what we know here at BEI, our motto is what? We elevate
Elevate
both.
mindset
Mindset and
and
that
money.
money.
Hence, we're finishing the year with a boot camp, right? Let's just throw that one out there, right? So we're trying to position not only our own businesses, but other business owners to start 2022 with a bang. And
Mhm.
so part of that thinking is, to me, this is the season because people do kind of slow down in the fall, right? And especially around November. It's really like almost after Halloween. They just because they get in planning mode for the holidays, and then they have the holidays, and then they got to get out of the holiday mode. So you kind of got this lull in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, even if I can't get in there and do certain things, what I try to do is then let's get the schedule booked for the first of the year. And of course, you get your deposits, you do whatever. So you still got flow, right? You got
Right.
flow, you're using the time wisely because you got to understand, just like you got to know your own biorhythmic patterns. You got to know the patterns of the industries that you're in. You have to know the rhythms of the people that you work with. And so for me, finishing strong is this is a great time to touch bases with your clients, get contract renewals and things like that. Even if there is a lull, that doesn't mean you're not engaging. What other active, actionable things can you be doing to grow your business? Maybe you used the time to create a new course, right? And so then the launch is the first of the year because if you couldn't do the work, because the reason why a lot of people don't create is because they say they don't have time. So what are you doing with the time when there's a lull? Again, biorhythmic patterns, pay attention. So for me, it's all about planning, getting ready for next year. In 2 weeks, we're even doing our own strategic planning, right? We model the things that we tell other people to do because we got to build out a plan for BEI. What's
Right.
next for us? And I'm going to tell you guys a secret, but now you can't tell anybody. Viewers, some big stuff happening in 2022. That's all I got. Okay, so yeah, but
You're
you
gonna
can't
leave
tell
them
anybody.
hanging like that, Angela? You're gonna leave them
I'm
hanging?
look, I'm gonna do like John. You remember how John be like, I can't. I'm not. Mark told me not to tell, right? So I'm like, look, Cedric told me not to tell. We're gonna blame Cedric, right? He ain't here. But just know that we are so excited. But I think this is the season of planting your harvest, right? Watering things, at least for me. But it's still finishing strong. And of course, I got my regular routine things. But this is the season of the getting ready for the breakout.
Yeah.
We're breaking out next year.
I'm coming out.
Like she turned that light on, didn't she?
I know, she came all the way up. Hey, this is funny. Kendrick said that Cedric LaFleur would tell us if he were here.
I know, but he's not here, Kenrick, so you can't prove it.
Too funny. Too funny.
So, Dr. Nick, what about you? What are you doing to finish strong for the last quarter?
Yeah, that's similar to Angela. You know, when I hear, it's like an oxymoron, finish strong, but my finish strong is beginning now, right? So it's a season going into fourth quarter. I'm beginning the new things that I plan to focus on in 2022. And like Angela says, watch out, y'all. There's some good things coming in 2022. Okay.
All right.
So just I am in that process. The word that I got for myself for fourth quarter, or the phrase, is make room. And the idea is that I am making room for the things and the abundance that is coming in 2022. I'm making room. So I am not only in my business, making room in my business, kind of fine tuning systems and making sure that I'm doing the right things and preparing myself. And those things that are not functioning, that things are not really, serving me any purpose, I'm stopped doing it. A lot of times we feel that we need to hold on to things, but sometimes you need to know when to let go and focus. So I'm doing that not only in my business, I'm doing that just in my personal life. Like a couple of days ago, I just started cleaning out my closet because I'm like,
oh, you too?
Yes, I just went in. I don't know what happened. I just went in and just kind of threw things out because there's the stuff that are in there I haven't worn in years. There are things that have
empty promises in there. The empty promises we tell our clothes. I'm gonna wear you again.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? If I can't get into it now, I just can't get into it.
But you know what, Nicole? The other thing, and Damien, me and Nicole took over. You just sit back and listen.
Look, I'm just here to watch.
But look, here's the other thing, right, Nicole? Because I asked myself just 2 weeks ago, I just love what you said, and you and I have not had this conversation, is, what in me needs to die or go away, basically, for me to become the person I want to be.
Yeah.
And so it is so in harmony with what you just said. So that even gets me more excited about what's going to happen with BEI, because you can't have two powerful, strong women of color who also happen to be sorors in the same space, right, on the same agenda, right? And BEI not benefit from it. Yeah. So Daniel, we're going to let you and Cedric come along. But, I'm just saying, y'all better get ready.
Make room.
Look, I'm going to just sit back because here's what Kendrick said. Kendrick says it's the Angela and Dr. Nick show right now. So I'm going to just...
We got to guess. We got to bring our amazing guests out. But that's right.
We got to guess.
She gonna come on. Look, I'm a prophesy, right? She gonna come on and co-sign everything me and Nicole said. I'm just saying. But no, go ahead.
That's right.
I just can't. Help me. Where my brothers at? I need some reinforcements around here. I can't handle these two.
Kerry trying to help you.
He tried. Kerry, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Anyway, so guys, listen, we've got a phenomenal show for you tonight, and we've got an absolutely amazing guest here. And I'm so proud to say that she and I go way, way, way back, and I am grateful that she's agreed to be with us. You know what? Here's the thing. She's actually taking time out from her vacation to be here tonight. I actually thought she was out of the country. She was supposed to be out of the country. Turns out that she's not, but she's still on the move, vacationing. And so let me properly introduce her, and I will bring her on stage. Matter of fact, let me just bring her in now so she can hear me introduce her. So let me tell you about my friend, my illustrious friend, Keisha Barnes. So Keisha, welcome to the show. And let me just properly introduce her, and then I'm going to turn her loose. So Keisha is the co-owner of Trinity Wellness Community Care. It's a behavioral health agency that was launched in 2015 that provides peer support to those struggling with mental health issues and or addictions. Just 1 year after starting her business, Keisha co-founded Trinity Wellness Community Outreach, which is a nonprofit organization for single mothers that provides holistic life coaching in the areas of health, wellness, personal finances, and home buying. Now, after working in the behavioral health and holistic wellness field for over 10 years, Keisha recognized that one of her many, many passions is self-sustainability. And out of that passion in 2019, Keisha co-created Shea Baby Organics, which is an artisan all organic body butter company. The products are made with the highest grade ingredients and truly provide lasting skin transformations for customers all across the country. Keisha believes in sharing her knowledge and experiences in order to impact and ultimately change the lives of others. So we are in harmony with that. And most recently, she actually co authored two children's books on mindfulness, both of which are set to be published in the very, very near future. I'll let her tell us about that. Now, we got an educated woman here because Keisha holds a master's degree in professional counseling, and she's a certified health coach and meditation instructor. She's always learning. She's currently pursuing a certificate in agricultural science. So, as a novice farmer, and she'll tell you about the farm too, she enjoys applying what she learns on the 11 and a half acre farmland she owns, which is also known as Legacy Farm, located in Monroe, North Carolina. And so in her spare time, Keisha enjoys singing. And by the way, she doesn't sing, she sangs. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to figure out when she
Okay.
gets some spare time, but that's okay.
You know,
We'll find that out in a minute too.
and the funny thing is, Angela, there's some stuff I had to cut out of here. I had to cut out the part that she's a photographer. She's a certified chef. I mean, Keisha
All
is a
right now.
perpetual student. So
I
anyway,
love it.
so her hobbies are singing, traveling, cooking, spending time with her family, friends, and being Mimi to her ever-growing number of grandchildren. This look like somebody's grandmother to you? Not so much.
Yeah.
But anyway, want to welcome my friend Keisha. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being with us.
Awesome.
Oh, so it looks
You're
like you were
mute.
muted. So there you go.
Thank you
Now we
so
can hear
much
you.
for having me.
We are glad to have you.
Absolutely. We're
So I'll
we're
tell you
so
what.
so excited to have you. Just listening to all of the great things that you have done, Keisha. You are pursuing a lot of business endeavors. So just walk us through. Tell us about your journey, where you started even before becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, um, it's funny because I'll go back as far to say I remember for many years saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and everyone else knows but me, and going through that struggle for so many years, and just perpetuating things in my life that were not good for me, not healthy, things I grew up seeing, and just continuing that cycle. And one day, in about 2010, some things transpired, and I just decided that I was going to do whatever I needed to do to break the cycle of abuse, break the cycle of just, again, putting myself in situations that didn't benefit me and definitely didn't benefit my children. And so I went to therapy, and I was in therapy for about a year when I had an epiphany, and I said to my therapist, I think that I would be good at doing this. And he said, yes, you would. And I'm hoping to this day that that's not something he told everyone, but, that he saw something in me. And from there, I actually registered and went to Liberty University, and I got my master's degree in professional counseling, which was a blessing because it helped me to grow and helped me to heal in so many ways, and prepared me to then go out and help other people to do the same thing. So I feel like that's where the I wouldn't say journey began, because the journey begins when you get here, but that's where it turned around, I guess, and that's where I was able to take my experiences and use them for good and use them to help others. So I began there. From there, funny story, I got my master's, and I was serving at my church and struggling. And I remember leaving church one day, and I was so upset, and I was talking to God, and I was like, what am I supposed to be doing, God? I'm doing what I know you told me to do. I got my degree. I'm serving. I'm working in the field, but I'm not making any money. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm literally having this conversation out loud in the car. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? And my phone rings, and it comes to the car, and I go, God, I'll be right back. This is my BFF. And I pick up the phone, and my BFF goes, this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, okay, should I have asked you that like 2 years ago? Clearly, I got an immediate answer. And she shared with me that, you know, she had been a peer support specialist. And she said, listen, I think we could do this. You have your master's, I have the experience. And from there it began. And we created Trinity Wellness Community Care, which, as Damien said, works in the community with people struggling with mental health issues and or addictions. And pretty much everything else was born out of that, as far as the nonprofit, which we help single women. So yeah, that's pretty much how it began.
That is so inspiring because, you know, of course, those of us who are familiar with scripture and things like that, we're familiar with the quote, you know, you have not because you ask not, right? And it's interesting because, like you said, should I have asked this earlier? But I think it's phenomenal that you also had to get to that point where you felt like there was no other solution.
Right.
Then you kind of got yourself out of the way, because that's what happens with a lot of us on this entrepreneurial journey. So thank you for being so transparent and sharing that. So can you talk to us a little bit about, now that you were on this journey, what was the most challenging aspect to making the transition into actual entrepreneurship?
I would say the most challenging thing initially is just the not knowing. You know, you really learn as you go. And that is a struggle, and that can be a challenge, you know, especially in the field that we went in. Yes, I had a degree in it, and I was working and volunteering, but this was a whole different animal. I mean, there were days when I would literally look at my business partner and say, can we do this? Like, we had to fill out literally hundreds of forms, and we had to get an office space and so many things. And there was one point where literally I looked at it, I was like, do you have a nickel? Because I don't have a nickel. Like, we pawned jewelry. I pawned my laptop, and I was in school. I was like, we'll figure it out. You know, I mean, we did whatever we had to do. So I would say initially that was the struggle. As an entrepreneur and business owner with employees, that comes with its own sets of struggles. You know, you have different personalities. You have people who are just not for you, you know? So I think going along as an entrepreneur and in different areas, to me, that's been a struggle, and that's challenged me to grow immensely. And it's a process because I'm still growing, but to learn to not take things personally, that's difficult, you know, when you feel like people who you think should support you don't support you, or people who you've supported and they turn on you, or, you know, yeah, I've experienced a lot of that, and it's caused me to grow. I have wonderful, wonderful friends who have talked me down and talked me through, and we've worked together. But I would say that's definitely one of the biggest challenges that I've faced.
Thank you for that as well. You know, and you're just, again, echoing things that we hear consistently, and with the entrepreneurs that we work with through our boot camps, right? That unrealistic expectation sometimes that friends are going to be our customers, or, you know, people should support us in ways that it's not even realistic now when you think back on it. Like, why did I even have these expectations? But you're right. It's a growth process, and you are doing it quite well. So we definitely celebrate you.
Thank you. I definitely will not take credit. Like I said, I have wonderful friends who I've had to call many times and say, you know, talk me down, talk me through this, help me.
Yeah, but you had to still come down. They could do all the talking that they wanted to.
Yes, that is true. That is true. But they've definitely helped me. Definitely.
Good deal.
You know, it's interesting, Keisha, because that even speaks to the importance of having an inner circle of people that you can trust their judgment, even when you may not have when you may be emotionally charged or might not have necessarily the right perspective, that there are people in your corner whose guidance that you can rely on. We've had one of our guests talked about the importance of having a level of accountability to be successful in business, and it certainly sounds that that you have that. Um, so I want to hear now, because you started off with Trinity Wellness, and then you opened up the outreach, the nonprofit, and then you just kind of jumped into the Shea Baby organic products, right? So now you're running multiple businesses. It's not just one anymore. You're a serial entrepreneur, and you're
Yes.
serving different markets. So talk to us a little bit about maybe a couple of lessons that you've learned by owning and running multiple business versus just having one.
Well, I will quote my first pastor, A.R. Bernard: balance is the key to life. Um, and you really need to learn that. And that's difficult to learn. Um, but I really try to balance me time with juggling all of those businesses, which is why I travel a lot. Even though I may be on the beach, I'm working, but at least I'm on the beach working. So I say that at least balances it out. Because what better place to work than sitting on the beach? So I really feel that having me time and sometimes putting yourself first is really important. Rest is important. I don't do too well with that. Work in progress, because I will be up 2, 3 in the morning, sending text messages, reading emails, working. But because there are so many different things. It comes in all the time from
Mhm.
all different places. So you just do your best. But I think honestly, that's probably fundamentally one of the most important things, to have balance, because you could easily get burnt out with one business, let alone 3 and 4 businesses. You know what I'm saying? So you want to take the time for yourself. Like, you have to make that a priority.
Mhm. Wow, that is, amazing. Of when you said that, the key word was beach for me. That did it. So we talk about, especially in the boot camp, how as business owners we have been reading through E-Myth, and he talks about working on your business rather than in your business, and building businesses that support the life that you desire. And so that, it was just brought to mind when you said, you're on the beach, but you're still working. Your businesses are still going and functioning, but you're able to kind of put those parameters and the systems in place so you can still live your life. You can travel, you can have your me time and self time. So that's just amazing. So when you think about all that you have done, and looking over the many things that you have accomplished, and reflecting on the impact that your business has had on the lives that you serve, what gives you the greatest satisfaction?
I always say the greatest honor, in my perspective, the greatest honor I can have is to change people's lives. Like, I really consider that a blessing, that God has positioned me to literally change lives. I cannot fathom a greater thing. I really can't. So what stands out to me, or what impacts me most, is knowing that I have helped people to become healthier, that I have helped people to embrace a holistic approach to life, that I have literally volunteered at the Help Pregnancy Center, and prayed with people, and they've decided to keep a baby, and then they've written me letters a year or two later and thanked me for their baby, their child, and literally saying to me, if it wasn't for you, I would not have this child, and I'm so blessed. I mean, that's the greatest thing in the world to me, to really feel like you're living out your purpose, and you're impacting and changing the lives of others. And in every business, I try to do that. In every business, that is the goal. With Trinity Wellness, community care, outreach, with Shea Bay, and even with the children's books on mindfulness, to even impact children at a young age to become mindful so that as adults, they can be mindful adults, peaceful adults, gentle adults, and joyful adults.
Mm. Yeah, when Damien was even reading your bio and he mentioned the mindfulness books for young people, I just that was just really brought a smile to my face because you're right on, and I love the holistic approach. So often we forget that being healthy is about so much more than physical appearance and things like that. Like it's mind, body, and soul. And so you've done that. And so definitely I'm just so impressed with your business mission. But let me
Thank you.
ask you, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But let me ask you this question. Okay. So, one of the things that we often do is we work with people in transition, right? They're leaving their quote unquote corporate job or, whatever that 9 to 5 may be and transitioning into entrepreneurship. And a lot of them believe or have convinced themselves that they have to leave behind what they've previously done. So I would just like to talk a little bit about the value that you were able to bring into your business based on your past, journey, skills, knowledge, and things like that.
Well, prior to about 2010, I did many things that I didn't enjoy. Sometimes for the check, well, often for the check. Sometimes, just because that was what I was doing. But what I realized in retrospect is every experience is a lesson. So even I remember one of my first jobs at 20 something, and I worked for a woman, and she was racist, and she would say demeaning things to me, low key, not overtly demeaning, but I knew what they meant. And I remember her saying, like, I was a canvasser, whatever that is. I fill out cards and I do basically whatever they told me to do. But she would say, "Oh, Keisha, my little canvasser," and things like that. And it bothered me so much, So while I didn't like the job and I didn't like her, I did meet some wonderful people, but I always remembered that. And what I took away from that was don't demean people who work for you just because they work for you. And you never know who is working for you. And you never know who anyone is. You know what I'm saying? So esteem others as higher than yourself, and you'll never have that problem. So for me, that was a lesson in that. And most of my lessons, I would say, were about how to treat people, as a leader, as a business owner, and, having a company. I have about 44 employees now at Trinity Wellness Community Care. And I often have struggles and issues with my employees, and I have to think back to how was I treated and how do I want to treat others. So I would say that would be one of the most impactful lessons that I learned and that I took with me into my entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I think that's well from similarly, right? I think a lot of our poor leaders train us or model for us what we don't want to be, right? And
Exactly.
so there's a lesson everywhere. And so
Yes.
just having that attitude about that. So no, I love that. Thank you. Damien, you're muted. But you
So
was talking though, man.
I,
Your
I
head.
was honest, I was rearing up.
Ready.
So, this is how you guys know the show is live, right? Because it's that time, and my wife is trying to wrangle them. The kids are in the background screaming, so I muted myself. But here's what I wanted to say. I love the things that you're sharing, Keisha, and you and I go back a long time, and I've known you for many years. And one of the things that always stood out to me is the fact that I think you're a professional student, now become business owner. You're always learning something new. You're not afraid to go take a course or take a class. And I don't know how many classes and courses you've taken since I've known you. But needless to say, the fact is that you are always learning. And so I want to hear from you right now what some of the things are that you're learning and applying in both your life and your business right now.
Okay. So yes, that is an ongoing joke with all of my friends and family that I am a perpetual student. But I say to them, but I'm smart. because I learned all different things in all different areas and I can apply them. And I love that. I love learning. I love learning new things. So I continue. I am actually presently taking my last class uh, in a certificate program in agricultural science. It's a year-long program, and like I said, I'm in my last class. I've learned about dirt, and I've learned about plants, and I'm taking animal science right now. I took a class on weeds, not weed, but weeds, and I'm actually able to apply those things on the farm because I live on a farm. So now I can go out. I can identify weeds. I can look at dirt and have a better understanding of the dirt. Not that I'm any good yet, because it's definitely a process. But I do know a lot more now than I did before. So I am applying that. I had my second garden this year. I grew some tomatoes and cucumbers and lots of herbs and some marigolds. Um, those were the successful things. I planted some other stuff and it wasn't successful. But I did learn that I have to do a soil test. And next year I need to move it into a different area on the farm where it has better sunlight. So, you learn as you go. But I do. I love to learn and apply it to what I'm doing. So I actually am trying to decide, since I'm on my last class, what is the next thing I will be doing. I did find a farming program that I'm looking into, and that's another year-long class. I may take that.
Wow. Talk about a lifelong learner. I love it. I love it. I love it. Endless possibilities when you have that knowledge of things that you can do. So you have one of the common, you mentioned about briefly, I think you just talked about it, but I want to piggyback on something that I heard that you said you now have like over 40 employees now.
Yes.
In your business. And so one of the common challenges faced by many minority entrepreneurs and business owners is the ability to grow and then scale your businesses. And, from when you started to where you are now, how have you faced that growth period, and how are you doing to navigate your continual success?
Well, we started with myself and my BFF, as I
Mhm.
said, and we literally hit the streets, going to homeless shelters and just, finding, begging people. Do you want to be our client? And we were so excited to have one. Now we have about 160 clients. And even that's been a journey because, like I said, we've had people who we thought were for us and were against us and have left the company and taken 20, 30 people, and then we have to build it up again. But, he just covers us. I have literally sat back in amazement many times and just watched him cover us in our ignorance. I know that he knows we believe in integrity and working in integrity, and I believe he honors that. He always does because, like I said, there's so many things I can't take credit for, and I think that's what has helped us through those times where we were struggling or where we lost 30 clients, where we had issues with the MCO that we're contracted with. He just brought us through. He brings us through every time, audits, everything. And so honestly, I think just stay in a position of humility and knowing, literally you can see that these are things that God does that I don't do. I don't know how to do. And just being grateful. And I honestly, it may seem corny, but I truly believe that that's what has kept us successful and kept us growing even when times were hard. And we've had some really hard times. We had a period where a few years back, there were issues with the MCO and they cut our funds literally by 70%. And the bills still came and the employees were still there. And I am an employer that does not take lightly that I have 40 something employees. To me, I am responsible for those people and I'm responsible for those families. And it was really a rough time. And we literally emptied out our business bank account and our personal bank account to pay our people and to keep things going. And that was quite rough, I must say. I don't know that I'd do that again, but we did it, and God made a way, and we're back on the mend. We're doing well. We're successful. So again, it's just, I think it's trusting God, and being humble, and just watching Him do amazing things. And they say that preparation meeting opportunity brings success. So I feel like I prepared, I continue to prepare, and when the opportunity comes, I'm able to be successful.
Awesome.
Well stated. Well stated. So I'm going to shift the conversation a little bit because I am just enjoying learning so much about you and your journey. So let's talk about, what do you do for fun? What's fun for you, and what do you do?
Um, honestly, running my business is fun. I have partnered with some amazing people. My BFF Victoria, who drives me crazy, but I love her to death, to life, I should say. We have so much fun. She's my travel buddy. We travel all the time, and I yell at her while I'm on the beach working, and she's looking at the water. And then I have Tiffany, who's my business partner at Shea Bay, and we have more fun than it should be allowed, because we're up some nights till 1, 2 in the morning mixing shea butter and making product, and we're delirious, so we'll dance and make all kind of heinous videos that the public should never see. But we have so much fun. And then my co-author Crystal, who's another best friend, we have fun, we travel, we work together. So I am so blessed to work with some amazing, amazing people. And then traveling is so much fun. I'm a foodie. As Damien mentioned, I also went to culinary school. I went to massage therapy school. I went to school for everything. So I'm a foodie. I love food. I love traveling and just trying new things, trying new food. And one of my absolute favorite things, honestly, is sitting on my front porch and meditating and looking out into the pasture, and just being grateful, and taking it all in. It is absolutely breathtaking and amazing.
I like that a lot. So, as a traveler and a foodie, I need you to tell me favorite place to go, and you can phrase it one of two ways. Either it's your favorite place, or a place that you would recommend everybody should go to at least once. You can pick either way. And or what's the go-to food?
Okay. Um, to date, my favorite place that I've visited is Morocco.
Mm.
I feel like there are places that I would love more, but I haven't gotten there yet. But
Hmm.
I so enjoyed Morocco. The culture, it was just amazing, and I got to see like old Morocco and the new Morocco, and it was just, I just had such a wonderful, wonderful time. So I would recommend that everyone go to Morocco.
Okay.
I do want to go, so many other places like Seychelles, Santorini. I have a list, a long, long list, that I plan to get to. But to date, I'm gonna say Morocco.
Okay.
Um, Food. Oh my God. That's like, people ask me what's my favorite food, and I'm like, I literally can't answer that, because I go, good, good food. Like, I have so many.
Okay, so maybe not your favorite then, but what is, just to throw us out a couple things that you really, either you can tell us what you really enjoy preparing, or again, just some of your favorites, because I like food. Now, you might say something I haven't tried, because like for instance, Morocco hadn't been on my list, but now you got me thinking, right? So
Okay.
I'm trying to widen my palette.
So honestly, and since we talked about Morocco, I we had we when we were in Morocco, we went to, there was the host who she took us around to several different places, and she took us to her friend's farm, and her friend prepared for us a Moroccan dish. Um, oh my goodness, it was amazing, and it had couscous and chicken, and it had all of these. It had vegetables and these onions, and they did was they cooked the couscous for hours underneath the meat, and the vegetables so that it all drips onto the couscous and it absorbs it. So it's nothing like the couscous that I've had in the States anywhere. And I think that was one of the most amazing meals probably that I've had. Gosh, I just.
Well, no, I'll take that one.
Okay.
That's something that I definitely have never had.
It was
And now that I have put Morocco on my list, I'll think about that when I go there. Look, I'm gonna reach out first. I'm gonna reach out first because I'm gonna need some help on that Morocco thing. But it's on the list.
I believe her business is called Moroccan Curators, but I'll get it for you. She is amazing. Her name is Layla. She's an awesome, awesome woman, and
Thank you.
She just knows everything about Morocco.
I love it. I love it. This has been exciting.
Yeah. Good stuff. So, Keisha, unfortunately, I wish we had more time. I can't believe the time is already gone, right? But tell our audience how they can connect you. We didn't even get to talk about, she makes the most amazing whipped shea butter. Her products are literally incredible. And I remember when she was on the journey to start Shea Bebe. Did I say it right? I feel
yes, Shea Bebe, yes.
Shea Bebe. That she was looking for the highest quality essential oils, and that's what she puts in it. I don't even know how you're able to make it profitable with the high quality of ingredients that you use. But tell our audience about your products real quick, Keisha, because we only have about 3 minutes left. Tell us about where we can find you on social media.
All right, so it's Shea Bebe Organics. Yes, it's all organic, highest therapeutic grade essential oils. It is handmade by Tiffany, myself, Melissa, Annette, a few of our friends that we drag into it and have them work until 1 o'clock in the morning. They are wonderful. So handmade right in Union County. You can reach us. It's on the screen at www.sheabebe.com. And we make body butters, body scrubs, lip butters, and lip scrubs as well. And they are wonderful, not just because I make them, because they really, really are. We have 7 different scents, and we have an unscented, which has the natural shea butter scent for people who don't like or have issues with essential oils. But there's something for everyone on there. So
I'm on the website now, so I already see. I'm excited. Look, I typed it in time you said it. I'm like, okay, I'm there.
My daughter actually did the photography for the website.
Oh, she did awesome. Great job.
A young man named Baz did the commercial on the website, so we work closely with both of them as well.
I love it. I love it. Well, I like shea butter, so I'm happy.
Well, you will love this. Damien uses it regularly.
And well, you might not should have told us that part. Look. You might not should have told us that part. I just saw him up close and personal. He ain't look. No, I'm just playing.
I didn't look greasy enough.
Your skin look dry, man. look, he was complaining about how cold it was in New Jersey. See, that's how you know it's a Southern guy. It was like 70-something degrees. He was like, it's cold here. Yeah, so I'm giving him a hard time. But no, all joking aside. Yeah, I definitely am going to check it out. I love shea products.
Thank you. Thank you.
And she's on Instagram as well, Shea Bebe Organics, right?
Yes.
Good stuff. Well, so audience, please go to the website now and support her business, because we believe in supporting Black and minority business owners, and if we're going to spend the money, we might as well spend it there as well. So go to the website. And Angela and Nicole, today was the first session of our last boot camp for this year. Any thoughts that you want to share about the boot camp, the experience? And Angela, listen, the running joke is that every time we have a boot camp, it's another baby for Angela. So Angela, tell us about this baby that we've now birthed.
This is an all-girl baby.
What?
Yes.
100% women. Men, I don't know what's happening, right? But I also know that, we've talked about the statistics before for businesses owned by women of color, their success, their average net worth compared to businesses owned by non-women of color, and the numbers are staggering. So we are excited that these women have said, we don't want to be a statistic. When they run those numbers again, we want new data out there. But yeah, it's all girls club. Like I said, we'll let you and Cedric come for the ride, but me and Nicole are like, This is look, girls rule the world, right?
Right.
That's
That's
what you
right.
meant. Now I get it.
Yes, yes. So, but no, they were there today, present, alert. We have a couple that work other jobs, but already, hey, I'm on the videos. But we're excited.
Yeah.
Again, this is the last boot camp for 2021. Hard to believe. And number 6. So yeah, so enrollment is open for number 7 starting January 5th. If you didn't get in this time and you really see that just having mentors and a community of support and somebody to help you leverage and launch your business into a greater level of success, then I think you need to check us out. We have not failed yet, right? And don't plan on it.
I'm
Now we've
playing on
had
that.
some things that we learned along the way, but every boot camp we can say unequivocally that people come out of it better than they came, and that shows up in various ways. So we're really excited, and so again, come join us. The link is there at the bottom of the screen. And then I just want to say, if you want to be somebody successful like our guest, Keisha, she is amazing. And like I said, I already followed her on Instagram, and I'm about to buy some shea butter.
Go girl.
Right on. Well, Keisha, thanks for being with us today. Audience, thanks for watching. We hope that you enjoyed the show, got some good nuggets. Like and share the show. Follow us on YouTube, and we will be back next week with another great show. Remember, the replays on Sunday at 3 p.m. So thanks for joining us, and bye for now, guys.
Thank you.